So relating to Mara and to things that have been happening here, I think instead of also doing, I'm not interested in doing kind of a neat presentation or whatsoever. I thought of making a walkthrough, maybe to through some pieces, and drop some elements, maybe some dimensions that might be interesting or not to discuss here. And now actually I want to relate to provocation, because yeah, well, if I'm getting right, I mean, provocation as a free provocation, yeah, that happens a lot more, maybe more in the visual arts, performance arts, visual arts settings than within literary settings. And there's a lot of free provocation going on. So actually I need to get a screen first. And my brain is a bit slow today because I'm a bit with a cold, so don't take me. If you get very bored, I have an excuse. Yeah, seems better now. Okay, so before going to the provocation, or maybe, I don't know, actually. So this is, you know, this kind of like games that we have, like find the differences pictures. Oh, actually, it's quite obvious. So yeah, so we arrived yesterday from like a quite intense week in Austria with the crowd bus tour, and we arrived at this monastery, and yeah, and I always feel quite uncomfortable to enter the monastery because I have a long-standing like kind of well, I have a 4-generation atheist kind of background, also enlarged by other, you know, personal events with nuns and things like that it's not interesting now. But anyways, what happened was that it happened this, and then it was closed. So I was trying to discuss with that to see if other people were also feeling uncomfortable or not. Apparently, some already did. But because of this, I might actually swap room today with Georg and move to your hostel. We can actually have a nice swap there. But this to start with, well, I don't know if I can call this at least a private critical awareness, or relating to it. Actually calls back to the notion of the citizen. Well, this is my, in the case, like a very private situation, private citizen that you were speaking today. But also, so I would like to kind of open up like some doors that we could discuss, like going back to the idea of what does it mean to be an individual, or be in a collective, or have prompt a communitary situation. How active do we want or not to be in the public sphere in relation to the public sphere that is also the public sphere, but the public sphere or of this small clique, let's say, that is here today. How can we expand things to go out of these walls and actually be out there as well? Relating to what you were saying, Steve. And also to say serious things, as Mara was saying. This is not an attempt to place myself with some kind of continuum, but I want to. Of course, like the 1960s has been quite an intense period for experimental poetics in general, as we all that are here probably are within that frame, or within some of those frames. Frameworks, let's say, or contexts, and Yap comes directly from there, like We haven't been even there. We just know about there. So, but to say what? So it became known that Poesia Experimental was first like a journal, a weird magazine with 2 issues, like 64 and 66, where a lot of people got together with a very radical idea, actually, of not wanting to call themselves a movement. So it was very problematic that they've been always coined as kind of movement. They've been the experimentalists, they've been the concrete poets, the sound poets, and so on and so on. They never recognized themselves as being a group movement. Yeah, they were precisely fighting against that. So they were fighting for freedom in that artistic sense, and also maybe Spain, but on the contrary to other experimental poetry scenes, there was a dictatorship in Portugal as well. So that kind of meant that being subversive and being transgressive back then, and being provocative, because there was a lot of provocation happening, was an act of resistance and an act of, it was a political act, in that sense of, it was a call for change. It was a call for change in the literary and artistic scene, because it was pretty much everything very, as you can imagine, like very dumb. But it was also like a call for invention and for active political change. Yeah. So then in '74, Portugal became a so-called democracy. And why they became known by the acronym POEX, that stands for Poesia Experimental. And there's been an archive in Portugal since 2005, led by also an experimental poet called Rui Torres. And he's been documenting, archiving, and collecting all in, especially like from facsimiles to really, out of run print editions, things that you can't find anywhere. So it's kind of a valuable resource in that sense. But so this is another long story that it's not take. But what I would like to draw here is that two poets that were connected with the POEX, or with experimental poetics in Portugal, were Ana Atterley, who just died last year. And she made a lot of things, from film to painting to poetry, fiction, and so on and so on and so on. Also, she drew a quite, or she actually rescued a quite intense history of Baroque poetry, visual texts, anagrams, labyrinths, and so on and so on and so on, that had been forgotten. So she went to, kind of National Library, and she was digging for all these things, also from a lot of women that had been forgotten, because of course they were writing under male names, and because they weren't part of the canon. And this is a quick through, like, it's called the reinvention of reading. So it's a series of visual poems, calligraphy, with like calligraphic visual poems. And another poet that I just would like to very briefly call the attention to is E.M. de Melicastro, who we can maybe say that, he's been a pioneer of video poetry. I love these sounds. We should do something about semiotics of sounds with Apple and so on, and Skype.
Arco, 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 rosa, arco, 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 rosa. Rodallu, rolu, lum, rodalum, rodame, lu. radalum. Chave. Abre. Foco. Fogo. Foco. Foco. Ó. 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 Água.
So when I show this work, like actually to students I'm teaching, and yeah, that's another story. But they start laughing a lot, yeah, and they say like, well, what is this all about? And it's it's a program of within humanity. So it plays back to this idea like even people that might be interested in these kind of things are actually. They see this as a very strange things, very strange works of art. Anyway, I mean, there's a lot to be said about. I mean, this piece was destroyed in 69. Shortly was shown in the Portuguese RTP, so let's say the BBC in Portugal, yeah, the broadcast, the public broadcast. And Meli Castro, so he reenacted this piece in '86. So as you can see, it's kind of like film and everything, but. My idea here is actually what I want to draw from the 1960s and so on experimentalists is first an idea of the ludic and an idea of the ethical, and then an idea of irony. And this idea of irony as well, it's something that we don't need to go to the experimentalists. I'm thinking about someone like Charles Simic, which is a poet that I like, particularly enjoy. And so we don't need to go back to relate just to experimentalists for a lot of these notions. So this would be one of three dimensions that I would just like to kind of bring into discussion. So not particularly, defining them or something, but maybe we can grab them as pieces along our conversations. The other idea as well, and coming back to provocation, is an idea of transgression and an idea of being subversive, which was something that was a common attitude as something that it can't be dissociated from the creative act. So the creative act is not just was never an act of pure, let's say pure construction in a formalist way. And then I don't want to go to the big P as well, as you were saying, and it's also a bit difficult for me to relate specifically right now to the Portuguese context directly, though I could speak a bit about that. But I mean 5 years ago I moved, and right now, as many people here in the room might feel, I don't feel neither there nor here nor in Norway nor in Portugal nor anywhere, and that creates a kind of strange place to inhabit. quite stimulating at times and quite confusing at other times. And I think because of that, I started exploring, like, even when I was in Portugal, I was already writing about like issues that would be like situations of oppression that would relate maybe to the Portuguese context, but also in a more kind of overall context. Perhaps because of the fact that I moved and also acquired new languages, all these things started becoming blending, and so I've been working more with several languages, working multilingually, and also relating to situations of oppression, being social class or political issues or gender or and so on and so forth in different countries. So trying to write from China to India, though in some contexts I might feel a bit alienated as well with this kind of conflict on if one really needs to embody the experience to actually can write about the experience. So this work was born part of this book, but some people here in the room might think that I might start running right now, so I'm not going to go on that. And also since 2014,
Open doc type, HTML.
Yeah, we are.
Open, HTML. Open, head. Open, title. As valas abertas. Plus, mais. Diffusé ouvert. Plus, mais. Open, ditches. Close, title. Open. Font size equal 10. Color equal black. Face equal lucid effects. Closed head. Open. Body. Open. Delete. Defecar e dormir. Close. Delete. Por entre armários, comer livros. Da câmara. Lixadage. Break. Open. Comment. False title. As valas abertas. Open. Comment. False title. Em hexágonos. À espera. Break. Waiting for us. Soldado de l'avenir. Open. Geofence. Rerouting. Da câmara. Lixadage. Break. Sim, oui, yes. As abelhas estão. Open. True. Certas. Close. True. Tudo que é útil é inútil. Break. Les assiettes sont pas de mouchoir. Da câmara. Lixadage. Break. Economia dos objetos. Les paumes of our. Open. Hands. Wasted. Closed. Hands. Break. Distracts us from writing the epidemic present. Da câmara. Lixadage. Break. Mais le présent c'est ici. Equal. True. Le présent c'est là. Equal. True. Rerouting. Break. Tandis que Borges caminha. Open quote. Eternal traveler. Close quote. Da câmara. Lixadage. Break. And while Perec reacorda dentro do livro. Dedans le lit. Break. Há uma bibliotecária perfeita. Sem. Open. Sexo. Cantando. Close. Sexo. Da câmara. Lixadage. Break. Paris. Open. Comment. True title. Achachachach. Melô. Open. Comment. True title. Rebenta no metro. Rerouting. Break. Sim, oui, yes, je t'aime, ici, toujours. Da câmara. Lixadage. Break. Tom. Open. Corre. Rebenta. Close. Corre. Nas minhas. Open. Mãos. Like. Close. Mãos. Waves in the break. Open. Sand. Lábios. Long. Mouth. Your moist vagina. Close. Sand. Rerouting. Da câmara. Lixadage. Break. Cada vala aberta contém já um número. Equal. False. Enter dialogue. Break. Cada livro aberto é já um número. Equal. False. Da câmara. Lixadage. Break. Cada livro é um corpo morto, mas aberto, disseste. Os livros são como break. Open. Comment. False title. As valas abertas. Open. Comment. False title. Disseste. Da câmara. Lixadage. Break. Open. Definition. A literatura é uma vala aberta. Close. Definition. Disseste. Equal. True. Rerouting. Break. Sim, oui, yes. But the city is happening right now. I say. Da câmara. Lixadage. Break. Can't wait for tomorrow. Open. Aside. Pas de distraction poétique. Close. Aside. I say. Break. Rerouting, le miroir est plein de soucis en spirale. Da camera, le shadage, break. Effacer la mémoire pendant la nuit limitée cyclique. Si apaga, break. Nothing is divine, only phantasmagorique. Rerouting, da camera, le shadage, break. Sim, oui, yes. Mais la ville is happening right now, I say. Dantes, dan, break. Les arrondissements à Paris, os jovens beijavam livros. Da câmara, le shadage, break. Rerouting. Mas agora, now. Maintenant, rerouting, break. Open aside. Pas de distraction poétique. Close aside. Rerouting. Da câmara, le shadage, break. Uma lâmpada, uma bala, músculo, ecrã, osso, sino, canhão, moeda, break. Nas praças mais ínfimas, os jovens dançam como fogo e Beethoven. Da câmara, le shadage, break. No metro, os jovens insultam-se pela pele, pela língua, pela esmola, break. Open, delete. Árabe insulta Leblanc insulta árabe. Close, delete. Da câmara, le shadage, break. Lê Kerouac no banco, cospe no chão da carruagem. Open, delete. Others, peace, close, delete, break. Em Stalingrad, a solução da biblioteca total é clara. Da câmara, le shadage, break. Sair para a plataforma com open mãos, plein de sangue, close mãos, rerouting, close geofence, break. É na desordem que se sabe. Tudo está ainda por escrever. Close, body, close, HTML.
So, just to wrap up, because we need to finish. So and get back to I mean, there are many, far too many, I feel, topics to relate right now. But one I would say, like, I've been trying to have a critical awareness towards how language is being processed and also appropriated and kind of constructed through corporation and commercial ends, like what relating to Jörg's talk this morning. And so from there, I started developing a lot of works where I'm reading the source code. So what is behind the surface that we are seeing here, trying to actually read that a machine would read. So reading that as just not executable language, but just pure language in the sense of readable language, human readable language. And working on collaborations with different people as well to try to explore also as well, like boundaries. I mean, in this case, we set like some constraints from the Library of Babel, the Borges short story. And we took issues of like the librarian is a woman and how she's relating to the being the perfect librarian to all the books, also issues of racism as well, and so on and so forth. So there'll be more to speak and more to show, but probably it's just better to open up for conversation.